U.S. Post Office says mail theft is a growing problem, whether the thieves are trying to steal your identity or your checks. I'm 7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee with a warning from a Greenville victim and how a few key steps can help you avoid check fraud. As a businessman, Hal Dillard keeps a close eye on his finances. So when a vendor never got his check, something didn't add up.
I was told by a bank employee that the check had cleared and it cleared in someone's name I'd never heard of. So at that point, I knew that we had a big issue, and I felt like I'd been punched in the gut, to be honest.
It wasn't hard to put 2 and 2 together. Dillard had a good idea where the check had likely been stolen.
I never do this, but I put 2 checks in our personal mailbox at our house. And someone turned checks for $749 that I wrote and $432 that I wrote into $9,749 and $4,800.
While the smaller check was flagged, the nearly $10,000 one was cashed through a mobile banking app, despite a signature that looked nothing like Dillard's.
I didn't understand how this could get through the system.
Arthur State Bank, where the funds were drained, is certainly not alone. The most recent report on mail theft-related check fraud from the U.S. Treasury cites more than 15,000 cases, totaling $688 million in just a 6-month time frame. The chief operating officer at Arthur State says both his bank and the one that received the funds have a screening process, but it's a fine line between catching fraud and delaying the deposits of thousands of legitimate checks.
They do look for different security features to make sure that they're valid, but unfortunately, in situations like that, the scammers are able to leave certain things in place to get it to pass initial inspections.
And it's always about learning from these experiences. Is there anything that the bank has gleaned that might be helpful in the future?
We try to monitor checks over certain dollar amounts. We have employees that regularly watch customer accounts, especially if someone happens to have been a victim more than once.
Gregory says banking apps are a key tool for customers to stay on top of withdrawals so they can flag anything suspicious. As for catching the criminals,
thousands of packages a day.
U.S. Postal Inspector Breslin Steverson says mail theft cases keep him busy.
When you follow the trail, what do you notice happening with these counterfeit checks?
So these counterfeit checks are a lot of times starting off as, actual checks that were stolen. Then they're posted on an app like Telegram where these criminals think they have anonymity. They sell the checks, or they try to sell the checks or the information from the checks to other criminals so they can be reprinted, counterfeited.
Even these blue drop boxes have been broken into. So as part of Project Safe Delivery, the post office is in the process of retrofitting these, removing these drop-down arms and replacing them with slits with rakes inside so thieves can't steal the mail. After a 3-week investigation, Arthur State returned the funds to Dillard's account.
If our customer was done wrong, we're going to make our customer whole.
A relief for Dillard, who has learned a vital lesson.
I will never put any payment or check or anything important in our personal mailbox again. I would take that directly to the post office.
That really is the safest way to send a physical check.